Hey everybody, I am getting this pet portrait ready to go to my framer by request of my client. And I just wanted to take a minute to tell you a little bit about how pastel artwork is framed. Pastels are one of the longest lasting mediums and so rich in color, and they can be preserved for indefinitely when framed properly. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit about that in case you are considering buying a piece of pastel artwork. Because pastels are pure pigment and they're a dry medium, when you touch the surface of the painting, it will smear and smudge onto anything it touches, including glass. So pastels have to be framed behind glass, but they can't touch the glass. So there are two ways to make sure this doesn't happen. And the first way, obviously, is matting or using mat board. Many times it's recommended to take beveled mat board and turn it backwards so that the dust particles that may fall over time can fall back behind that bevel, and then you won't see it. You probably can't see it right now, but I can see just a few little dust particles that had fallen to the bottom, but it's very difficult to see. And mat board always just sort of frames your artwork really beautifully. So that's one option. The other option in framing your pastel artwork is to use spacers. Spacers are long plastic-like strips that are adhered to the back of the frame just inside the edge, and it just keeps that separation between the artwork and the frame and gives it that space for those occasional dust particles to fall, but it also keeps that smearing and smudging from happening. I wanted to show you this gorgeous portrait of my dear friend when she was a little girl. It is just a beautiful piece of artwork, but for whatever reason, it was framed originally without anything separating it from the glass. And so it wound up losing some of the dust particles and rubbing up against the glass surface, and it caused a lot of discoloration in the portrait. Looking closer, you can see how the skin tone has darkened a little bit where the pastel had rubbed off, and even there on the collar in the image. And you can see spots where it's a little grayer. And as you go to the bottom, you can see some more how there was smearing and smudging with the pastel artwork as it rubbed up against the glass. And that's what you want to avoid. We want to have something that will separate it from the glass so it can maintain its integrity for a lifetime and longer. Even though you have to take a few precautions when framing your pastel artwork, it doesn't have to cost a fortune. For example, Michaels and Hobby Lobby do a really great job. I just make sure that I choose a framer who knows how to handle pastel artwork. They often have frames for 50% off or buy one, get one free. You can even purchase frames in thrift shops that are in really good shape, or maybe you like to DIY and you want to restore one. There are some beautiful frames out there in unexpected places. So there are a lot of different options. You can also consider, do I want a high quality glass, or do I need to really keep the cost down? So there are a number of things to consider when framing your artwork. I hope this has helped you understand a little bit better about pastel artwork and how it has to be framed, and it's maybe answered a few questions you had. If you have other questions, type them in the comments and I'm happy to answer them for you. And until next time, I hope you have a blessed day.